Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Hang on. Yep. Welcome, everybody, to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I'm your host, Andy Burrows, and this is our Monday Night Raw review show. As you can see or hear, I'm joined by my illustrious co-host and tag team partner, Mr. Adam Cousins. Adam, how are you, sir? We sit here recording on a Thursday. It's been a busy week of wrestling.
It has. It's been a war, unless you didn't know.
Yeah, apparently there's been. Yeah, can we say that this week? There's been a war breaking out. Oh, it's a bit tense.
Not if you're a tribalistic fan, you can't.
Yeah,
but it's good to have a friend to do a review with.
Yeah, I'm making some shows these days, man.
I know. What's going on?
Oh, no, I'm trying my best, man. I'm trying my best. Always make time for these. Try and make it. I've made it my goal now to make as much time as I can for the podcast. But we are here to talk a very good Monday Night Raw. I thought, ads. Obviously, we were leading into a busy week. Most people have watched the week in wrestling so far. Obviously, we've got Rampage and SmackDown still to come this week, and Collision on Saturday. But we started off the week with a Monday Night Raw, mate. How did you think Raw started off this week?
Well, it started off with Mr. Rollins, and it started off with him going into the microphone and doing his usual stick, praising Nakamura as well, because their match was great, apart from him falling on a bed. And they still kept showing in the highlights. You'd think they'd edit that out by now, wouldn't you? But you talk about the next challenger, and along came Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, you called this, didn't you?
I did call it. He's called, and now he wants his match at Crown Jewell. Well, no, Seth offered it to him, at Crown Jewell, and he was going to go and make it official with Adam Pearce. So that is how Raw kicked off the show.
It's funny how now wrestling now is where the wrestlers make the match before. Do you remember back in the day when we had like general managers and they used to come out and go, you've got to compete in this match for that to happen, or Drew, you've got to face so-and-so, and if you win, you'll get a title shot at SummerSlam or Royal Rumble or Mania. Now it's like the wrestlers come out and go, we are having this match at Crown Jewel, and then like an hour later, be like, I've just got this confirmed by Adam Pearce, and you're like, oh, hang on a minute, I thought Adam Pearce was in fucking charge here. I know people before it's wrestling, but I'm trying to make the point of like, it's not how I don't like it, Adam, when they do that. I'd rather Drew had to fight Nakamura for it and have a one-on-one, and the winner then gets set at Crown Jewel. But the main event is set for Crown Jewel now. It's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, and I think that's going to be an absolute banger. The question that we always ask: is this the time now that Seth drops the title? Does he drop it to Drew in Saudi Arabia?
No.
Okay.
I don't think he does. I think that's where the full-fledged heel turn will happen. Or the next Monday on Raw. Or depending now if we're the TV right deal. We'll get into that in a minute. Yeah, potentially. I don't think he beats him this time, but I think it sets up the full-fledged turn of Matt, because he's been teasing it for ages now, hasn't he? So
yeah, I mean, pretty much most wrestling fans have. Pretty much when he on Monday, obviously, he didn't help out again when we're going to get to Shinsuke. Obviously, Seth got jumped again, and Drew just stood there and did fuck all.
Because he got it done by Priest, didn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so Damian Priest come out, and then the whole cashing thing was going to happen.
He tried to Mysterio with a briefcase.
Yeah, he tried to hit. Yeah, so he kind of got involved when it suited him. But yeah, I'm interested to see where that storyline goes. I personally don't. I think the cash-in now could happen in Saudi Arabia. Like I always say, there's something they always want something big on that show, whether it's a superstar. John Cena's probably going to be there this time, I'm guessing, against Roman Reigns. They always want they always give them a little something on that show, because it's, we all know it's Saudi Arabia. They pay a lot of money to the WWE over there, etc., etc., etc. I wouldn't be surprised if the failed cash-in happens in Saudi Arabia. I don't know what you think.
Probably. It could do. I do think it's going to be a failed cash-in, though. I think you're right. Well, I think we talked about this the other day when we was doing Fastlane. Said it would probably happen December, January. Could happen in November. They could get it out of the way and it's done and dusted. It will be a failed cash-in. Just rewinding slightly, the head of TKO, Ari Emanuani, whatever his fucking name is, today come out on a news conference, said they are open to moving Raw to another day if the television negotiation rights go one way and they wanted Raw on a Tuesday, or don't put it on a fucking Wednesday. We don't be needing that every week.
My Twitter for notifications don't need that.
Yeah, me too. I'm interested to take your take on this, because does it help ratings because there won't be any football on a Monday? Because at the moment they're going head to head for the next God knows how many weeks with Monday night. They won't have that worry.
Yeah, till January for Super Bowl. January is the season finishes. The regular season finishes in January, and then the playoffs
The
start.
Commandos season finishes in January. That's what you're saying.
Commandos, cheeky fuck. Yeah, our season will be done in January probably. You can't move Monday Night Raw. It's probably one of the only thing left from, let's say, traditional wrestling. Monday night is wrestling night. It always has been. It always will be, in my opinion. You can't bow. There has to come a time, right, when they don't think of the fans anymore. You know, I get it. It's a business now. It's not. That's why it's not called World Wrestling Federation anymore. And we get the entertainment aspect of it today. They were talking about it on Talk Sport today. They were talking about all these YouTubers going into boxing, and I can't remember who the host was down Talk Sport. I had it on at work, and they were like, "Oh, it's turning into WWE. It's just more about entertainment and ratings." And if Raw went away from a Monday, say for argument's sake, they put it on a Tuesday. I can guarantee you they'll put it on a fucking Wednesday, by the way. Say for argument's sake, it moves to Wednesday. We all know why they would do it. And I don't know. I hope it doesn't move, mate. I'll be devastated if Raw isn't on a Monday anymore. I know we don't get to watch it live that often over here, but for me, Monday night will always be that traditional wrestling night. It's kind of like now Fridays have come to be SmackDown. You think back in the day, it used to be Raw Monday, SmackDown Tuesday. Then you have things like Shotgun Saturday night. You had Sunday Night Heat, et cetera, et cetera. But the only one that stayed and has never moved is Raw. Occasionally, it's gone to a Tuesday when it was taped and everything. They had to put it out on a Tuesday. But 99 times out of 100, Raw has been Monday. What are you going to call it? Tuesday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Wednesday Night Raw doesn't sound the same. Or do you just call it Raw?
I mean, just called Raw.
Oh, mate, I hope they don't move it, mate. I really don't. But again, this is where the sport that we've grown up with and that we love and that we're passionate about and that we talk about and that we travel and we spend it. I think it's going down a route now where you could lose a lot of the purist fans. I just think something's going out of wrestling now. I think it's coming more. Don't get me wrong, it's always been in the last 20 years, mate, it's always been about these executives and these TV deals. Me and you speak about it all the time. Fox have signed a deal, or is it TNT signed a deal, or so-and-so signed a deal, you know. USA have got, signed a deal. It's all about these TV networks and these executives. But for me, you have to hold the core values that got you to where you got. I understand it can never be the WWF anymore. Say your prayers, take your vitamins and all that, shaking the ropes like the Ultimate Warrior. I get them days are gone. But I just think you lose something if Raw isn't on a Monday. And I fucking guarantee you they'll put it on a Wednesday.
The only thing they did do well is change the pay-per-views to a Saturday.
That's amazing. Probably the best thing for European fans, and I'm being purely selfish here, I either get to watch it live or I can wake up early on a Sunday morning and watch it. I haven't got to worry about, I'm going to work in 2 hours. I mean, I still do it now with the NFL when we have a few late games, or like last Thursday, I stayed up 1 a.m. Friday morning. Our time.
How'd that go?
Yeah, we were shit, and Chicago Bears put 40 past us. First game they've won in a year, and I pretty much went straight to work. I don't miss doing that on a Sunday. You
exactly.
do it for, you used to do it for WrestleMania when it was one night, because it was Mania. The Saturday pay-per-views, and that seems to be everywhere now. Impact are doing it, AEW are doing it, WWE are doing it. I think they've finally realised that Saturday night
it's all right for fighting.
Yeah, it's all right for fighting. And once the college football's finished on a Saturday evening, if WWE or AEW put a pay-per-view on at 8:00 at East Coast time, that's perfect. And for us, it's even better, because 9 times out of 10, you probably can. It might be you've got TVs in your bedroom or something. Saturday night, you're just in bed, just put a pay-per-view on, or just wake up early on Sunday morning and watch it. So that they're doing well. As for moving Raw, I bloody hope not, mate.
Yeah, I don't particularly want to watch it on any other day either. But
it'd be so hard. It'd be so. How much content can you cram in? Imagine if they did move it to a Wednesday. Oh, mate, I mean, it would just be, the internet would blow up. All these young fucking up and coming pups would be waxing lyrical.
We're stupid, apparently.
Oh, well. Honestly, it's just, I've enjoyed this last week. I've just enjoyed wrestling. I couldn't give a shit if NXT won, if AEW won, I don't give a damn who won. It was just a great week to be a wrestling fan, and it started off with a solid Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I think what I said I just finished the AEW review, and I said that regardless of what the ratings were, 1.5 million people watch wrestling on a Tuesday.
That's incredible, man. That's incredible. Yeah, NXT won by a little bit. I know it's in it. Yeah, they won by 300,000, but who gives a shit? I mean, I know we've got our NXT review coming up that we're going to drop soon, and but just enjoy it. Like Bully Ray said on the Busted Open, he enjoyed it all. Just enjoy wrestling. And I said this to you when we recorded 2 days ago. If you watch WWE, great. If you watch AEW, great. If you watch all wrestling, great. Don't sit behind the fucking keyboard. They done this and they got John Cena because they're scared of AEW, or AEW went and got Edge because they're doing more than WWE. Oh, fuck off. Just watch wrestling, or either go and fucking sit in your mum's basement and watch Star Trek or something. I don't care. Anyway, Monday Night Raw. Let's carry on.
On that note, we get to the first match.
Yeah.
Viking rules. I love these Vikings.
Oh, dude, man. These get better and better, don't they?
Yeah. Ivar against Kofi. It was a fucking absolute mad match. I mean, they're pushing
Ivar in a bad
as
Viking Raiders match.
I'm seeing a bad Viking rules match. No.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. Yeah, you know.
But they're pushing Ivar as a single. Obviously, Eric's injured.
Yeah. How long's he out for doing it?
I don't know. Long enough to push Ivar as a single.
I'd keep fucking pushing him. He's decent, man.
He's great because he's a big old lump. He can move. He's got power. He's got agility. He can do moonsaults, as we saw. I loved it. I just thought it was an absolute smash mouth. What you'd expect.
Tables and fucking great moves. It's why you like wrestling. I mean, if you like, again, I go back to the Busted Open podcast. I listened to that on a Tuesday because I always review Raw. So I watch Raw and I listen to that, and we record. So I listen to a lot of content, and even Bully Ray was like, he was really impressed with Ivar and how they're going, and how WWE are going with him. They finally maybe seem to have got it right with him, because when the Viking Raiders first debuted after coming up from NXT, they changed their gimmick. Then they took them off. Good question.
Because they were called War Machine in
NXT.
They were called War Machine in Ring of Honor as well.
Yeah. Then they come up.
Experience.
Viking Experience. That's it. Then they come up to Raw. Then they left our TV screens, and then they come back, and they'd done this big promo, didn't they? Thing building up for a few weeks. Now I think Ivar is a singles competitor. They say you have to take your chances in wrestling, and you never know when these moments are coming around. And we've mentioned for the last year that me and you have been doing this. People like Bret Hart is doing the tag team, there's Shawn Michaels, etc., etc. This could be his breakout. I'd love to watch him in singles matches. Not saying that the Viking Raiders aren't a great tag team, but this match to open Raw was an absolute banger, and there was obviously interference at the end, and Xavier Woods got involved, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they end this little bit of the story. Is it going to be New Day versus the Viking Raiders when he comes back, or is it something's gonna happen in Saudi Arabia, and then it's gonna lead to Survivor Series? So I'm intrigued to see where they're gonna go with this storyline, because I read something today that Big E's definitely done. Apparently, apparently he's not coming back, but don't believe everything you read on the internet. I saw you getting into it. I saw you getting into it, which is about CM Punk this week, which we can discuss maybe at the end of the show. So again, I stupidly looked at Twitter. I was like, oh, Adam's been busy. But yeah, I love this match. I thought it was really good. It was old school. For a big guy as well. He moves well. I ran, and Kofi's Kofi. He's just fucking, the man's a legend. Put him in the Hall of Fame soon.
Definitely so. Went backstage. Nakamura and Ricochet got into a rock, which I think is next week now. Oh yeah, it's next week. The season premiere of Raw.
I chuckled.
I
did chuckle. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's been the longest running episodic TV show of all time, but it's premiering next month. What? I don't know.
Season premiere next Monday.
Who's going to be the big superstar? It's going to be on it. Who's going to be the Randy Orton?
It could be. We'll see. But they set up a Falls Count Anywhere match for them two next week.
That's going to be awesome.
That's going to be great. Rhea Ripley was telling JD McDonald to prove himself by taking out Drew McIntyre. That's going to end up well, isn't it?
Oh, it will.
Later on. And then we moved to Nia Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, which was, again, a really hard-hitting match until, thingy come out. What was it? Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley come out, pushed Shayna Baszler away, pushed Raquel Rodriguez away, started teeing off on Nia. Then her and Raquel had a bit, and then Shayna Baszler
come out
and kicked Ripley's head off.
That's where I thought Jay Cargill was going to come out. Not going to lie.
Could have been easy, yeah.
I thought that's where they were gonna, but she's still driving around in a car outside NXT. But she's looking for catering. But yeah, no, it was good. The women's division seems to have upped their game the last couple of weeks. I think I've been really impressed with what they're doing. I think they've finally realised now it's put Rhea in a meaningful storylines. And obviously they've got the whole thing going on with Becky and stuff like that. I think that's helped going between NXT and Raw. But yeah, I'm interested to see. I don't think Saudi. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do at Saudi Arabia because it's only ever really been like Natty and someone else's, Liv Morgan or someone. It's going to be Saudi Arabia's a bit of a. They're still trying to breach that gap with the women, the wrestlers over there. So it's going to be interesting to see how many of them are on the card. I think they should be on the card because it still sends a message that needs to be sent. But yeah, I'm loving what they're doing. I really enjoyed that bit on Raw, and I'm glad Nia isn't Nia of old, shall we say. I mean, again, she still gets a little bit of stick on social media, but I think she's done a good job since she's come back.
I think they've booked her the right way, which is the important thing.
Yeah, I don't know who's writing Raw these days, but they need a fucking.
Well, apparently it's no longer Vince McMahon, if you believe what you.
Yeah, Triple H has got full creative control now, hasn't he?
Yeah, just interestingly enough, you mentioned Randy Orton. I've just been scrolling through Twitter. And I know. What am I doing?
God, do I need to turn off my notifications? Who are you arguing with now?
No, nobody. It's the kind of thing of what you're just talking about. WWE tweeted 2 hours ago that Roman Reigns was returning on SmackDown tomorrow.
Again.
Yeah. And then above that, half an hour ago, Red Theory have retweeted it with the words Orton voices. Now, it could be nothing. It just could be them, just by them.
Randy Orton on SmackDown.
Could Randy Orton be on SmackDown?
Where's he still officially drafted to? Is it Raw?
No, he didn't get drafted.
He's a free agent.
Free agent, technically.
I got you. So last time we saw him, obviously, he was with Riddle.
It was Raw on Raw. Yeah, he was on Raw.
That'd be interesting. Orton gets in a little feud with. Maybe. Might be. I still think it's going to be Cena, but imagine Orton's first match back, Saudi Arabia against Roman Reigns.
Could well be, but it could just be they're just doing something for nothing. But
he's got to be back soon because he's still everything I'm still seeing online. He's at the Performance Center every day.
So it can only be a good thing. So we'll see. After that was the interview with Jey Uso and Cody. Michael Cole's doing it. Michael Cole was getting a bit thingy with Cody because he kept saying, "Is this a story you finished?"
What's trying to do something with Michael Cole? Do you reckon? I was going to ask you this because I watched this in-ring interview, shall we say, and I'm thinking, are they moving Michael Cole into like some sort of heel-y sort of fucking?
They've done that before, didn't they?
Yeah, the questions he was asking, I'm like, mate, this is like just stand there with a microphone and ask the questions. But he's kind of being more of a character. Yeah, he's been more of a character in WWE now, and I'm like, hang on a minute, are they doing something here? I don't know. I could be just completely fucking stupid, but yeah, I just thought to myself, hang on, a bit weird.
I felt that way as well, a little bit like they were doing something with it, or like just because he was trying to get an answer out of Cody about where the story is, and that got interrupted by they done that wrong as well. They gave Sami Zayn's old music accidentally played.
Yeah, I heard that. Loads of people on Twitter were
Sami Zayn even went, "Oh, it's been a while since I've heard that."
Yeah, fair play to him. He got out of that well. Actually.
Yeah, and Sami and Kevin come out, and that's out the main event, which was for the titles later on. Cody and Jey Uso versus we say an undrunk Cody and Jey Uso.
I wish they were drunk. Much better.
And then Sammy for a bit later on, and then that followed a triple threat match where the winner gets the shot at the Intercontinental Championship next week on the season premiere of Monday Night Raw. There was Ricochet versus Gable versus Bronson Reed. Ricochet gets attacked before by Nakamura. He gets in the ring. They have a really good triple threat match. Surprisingly, but not surprising. Remember, I said last week that I wanted to see Bronson Reed versus Gunther, despite the fact Bronson Reed still doesn't get any reaction coming out. I'm getting my wish next week.
Going to be a barnstormer next week, bro. It's going to be good. He's not going to go over, but I'm guessing they're going to set something up. I'm guessing it's going to be the main event of Raw next Monday.
It's quite a lot going on next week.
Looking at the card, I'm actually tempted to. We were talking earlier. I'm actually tempted to stop and watch this live. It's really, really good card. But yeah, I don't know. Fair play to WWE. They're still trying to push Bronson Reed because his in-ring stuff.
It's good.
Is very good. Not just good. I'd say it's very good. Just don't. Sometimes you're not over with the crowd, and if you're not over with them, then you're fucked basically, because if they don't like it, then you're screwed. But it works so many different ways in wrestling. Look at the Yes movement. God, a few years back now. Yeah. Daniel Bryan wasn't in anyone's thoughts to do anything meaningful. Not saying he was there, but he wasn't. He wasn't going to main event. He wasn't going to be in that match at WrestleMania when he won the titles. But when the crowd's behind you, it's great. When they're not, a la Bronson Reed, I don't know. But I think next week's match could be. Obviously, I think Gable's somehow going to be injected into that. I still think it'll be a triple threat.
Maybe, or it could go into Saudi Arabia and be a triple threat, perhaps. Maybe.
Yeah, no, I'm glad for Bronson Reed. I hope he'll have a great match. Obviously, he's not
Yeah.
going to win, but I still think Gunther will be. But the thing is, we keep saying all these people are going to lose the fucking belts at WrestleMania. There's going to be a lot of title changes. Something's got to happen before then. I still think Roman will drop before Mania now. I've got a funny feeling. I've got a feeling they want him versus The Rock at Mania, so that can't be for the title unless Roman retains.
Roman's definitely going over in that.
Yeah, which if he did fight The Rock, then what happens with Go? I think there's so many twists and turns now with the tag team titles and leading to, because everyone in WWE now we're on that WrestleMania arc now. We're thinking how are we getting to that main event? Triple H, Paul Levesque will know in the back of his head, this is where I want to get to. How do we get there now? And there's going to be some interesting Monday Night Raws coming up, because especially with the tag team titles, how long do you realistically think they keep them for? Or is that the big thing in Saudi Arabia? Do we get new tag champs?
Maybe. Well, we could get new tag team champs next week, but we've got to talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
We talk about that in a minute when we get to it. Becky Lynch was backstage talking about Tegan Nox, DIY.
And advertising her book.
And advertising. Did you see the one she done with Tony Khan? Brilliant.
Hilarious.
And nothing to do. And Finn Balor doing the tweet for Mummy's birthday with the edge at the bottom of it. And then Wade Barrett sat down with DIY about their tag team. That could be another match we see soon for the titles with DIY. And then we got into Drew McIntyre and JD McDonough, Scotland v Ireland. In this, we knew who was going to win this. I think, to be honest with you, it'd be pretty stupid if we didn't think McIntyre would end up with a win on this.
Nah, I think the whole getting McDonough into the Judgment Day, just either do it or don't now. I'm kind of like, it's been 3 or 4 weeks now, and it's it's going into NXT, it's happening on Raw, it's a little bit on SmackDown. Just either do it or don't do it. Just get on with it, because I'm bored. But yeah, Drew, again, like you said at the start, though, mate, just get the heel turn done, get him. I think he needs it. Obviously, the contract situation's up. I think he needs some sort of good creative run to maybe keep him in WWE. I'm still not sure myself, but he needs something. He needs reinventing Drew McIntyre, get rid of the look, get some new music, like you said a couple of weeks ago. Reinvent yourself and see how it will go. I mean, I think it'll be really good as a heel, and I think that's what WWE needs, especially on the Raw brand.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely. So Drew McIntyre, no surprise, picks up the win with the Claymore after the Future Shock DDT. They done a Tegan Nox vignette, but I don't really get why, because we knew that she was wrestling later on in the show, which was quite weird. There was a match. Rhea Ripley storms in and asked. There was a bit of the backstage where Indy and Candice LeRae were trying to get a medical update actually on DIY, because they got attacked. Rhea Ripley storms in. Ripley wants a match with Shayna Baszler, which she gets next week on the season premiere of Raw. That moves to Becky and Tegan for the NXT title. Actually, longer match than what I thought it was going to be, to be fair. Good match for both. Well, good, especially for Tegan Nox. No surprises that Becky Lynch keeps the title, but still, nevertheless, a good outing for the ladies this week.
Yes, again, mate. I think it's helped having the little mixture between NXT and Raw. Like you say, but if you'd gone back 2 months, if you weren't watching NXT, you're not going to know who Tegan Nox is.
Yeah.
So I think that's been good, and now I'm kind of piecing everything together. I'm kind of seeing why they've done the Baron Corbin, the people that they're sending to NXT, and especially with the women, because you're now seeing them on Raw. Trick was on Raw last week, albeit backstage. So you're kind of seeing now why they're doing it. This was a really, really good match. I really enjoyed this. And again, it got longer than it normally would on WWE TV, and it showcased everyone. Realized again, I'm still thinking Jade Cargill's coming in and she's taking the title. I don't think she's having any fucking. I just think she's doing a full page WWE when she come in. I think she's coming in, and I don't think it'll be Rhea. I think it'll be Becky. I think she'll drop the NXT title to Jade Cargill.
He could well do, and we will find out. She was everywhere this week anyway. Jade Cargill. We'll get into that. On NXT. Driving around, she's doing the miles that way. The backstage, there was a little bit with actually Tegan Nox. Funny enough. Oh no, was it Tegan Nox? Yeah, it was.
Natty.
Natty and Tegan Nox. Then Chelsea Green joins the show, basically tells Natty not to interfere in anywhere else going forward. Otherwise, you'll have to deal with Piper Niven. And there's your match next week for the season premiere of Raw, Natty versus Piper Niven. We'll move on quickly for that. There was nearly a brawl between McIntyre and Uso. Sami Zayn prevented that from happening. There was a really good vignette for Ludwig Kaiser, so they must be very keen on Ludwig. I'm very keen on Ludwig as a wrestler. Let's just get that out of the way. Not in any other way.
No.
I'll
just come out on the podcast.
No, as a wrestler,
yeah.
Warning. As a wrestler, he's great, and I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with him as a single. Then it led to our main event, the Usos, Cody and Jey Uso versus Kevin and Sami. I think with this, you've got exactly what was going. You put them four together in a ring, it was going to be magic. It was magic. They had a great match. Obviously, Cody and Jey retained, and then Kevin Owens seemed to forgive Jey Uso, shook his hand, gave him a hug. So and that ended Raw, but really good match to end Raw, mate.
Yeah, great way to end Raw. Jay's really over now. Every crowd reaction you're getting with, I love his music, by the way. I've got it as my ringtone now. I think it's really good. 99p on Apple Store. I bought it, mate. It went off in the lorry today when I was at work. My mate looked at me like, "What?" I was sitting in the passenger seat doing this.
Oh my god, I needed to see it.
Yeah, it was good. But no, it's going to be interesting. Are you still fully convinced that Jay's not going to turn? Is this something that, obviously now Kevin's hugging him, he's got him to trust him. Is this all leading up to one big ass turn and he goes back to being a bad?
I was thinking, that's bad, I think, the other day, wouldn't it just be weird if this was all a big bloodline ruse?
Dude, you've literally just took my next point. 100%. If it all culminates as in the bloodline all pretty much getting back together, it would fucking piss a lot of people off. I think it'd be brilliant. And then you lead into Mania again with the bloodline and everything on the Rock.
Or if Jey Uso does, if it all happens.
Or could Jey Uso get the push? Could you see him with we keep saying, Cody's going for Roman, and then poor old Seth Rollins is defending, his title against the world, his wife, and his dog. But could Jey potentially take the title off Roman? I don't think that's out of the question. He's over, like really over.
It's not out of the question. I'm not sure though, is the answer. I don't think so. I don't think Cody's going to do it even now. I think that's done.
If I said to you right now, though, name me your main event at WrestleMania night 2, because that's when we know Roman's going to be on. He's not going to be on night 1.
Is he not?
Name me. I know. I think he'll be involved in both nights, but I think the title match, it'll be the same as last year. It'll be night 2. If I just say to you right now, tell me the main event of WrestleMania. If you were doing it, who do you think it would be?
Roman Rock.
For the title?
Yeah. They're not taking it off Roman, in my opinion.
So, but Rock's not there for it. Wouldn't be like a passing of the torch kind of thing, because Roman's it's already been passed about fucking 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know, but if Roman just makes him, Roman's head of the table. That's how they're going to end it, isn't it?
I don't. Well, we're going to get into when people listen to or watch our NXT review. There's a certain daughter Rock, which we're going to speak about. Daughter Rock, involved. So that can maybe I see that's maybe a line. Obviously, we're going to people tune into our NXT review. I don't know. I'm keen. I think Jey Uso could be. Yeah, I think he could take it. Maybe I could be wrong. Is Cody gonna finish the story? I don't know, mate. Do they just think, fuck it, just keep it on Roman for another 6 months?
Well, I think.
Really, mate, could you imagine? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Raw was really good, mate. I really enjoyed Monday Night Raw this week. It was a great start to a great wrestling week. Just for purely to be a wrestling fan this week was incredible. It's been really good recently anyway, to be honest. Everyone's been putting on an okay-ish production. I think AEW's been good. NXT's been, in my opinion, still been the best of the lot in WWE, AEW, Impact, and NXT's been the best, in my opinion. But yeah, Raw was really good, mate. And I enjoyed it, mate. I'm going to give it this week. I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10.
I'm going to give it 8.
Okay.
8 for me. But yeah, it was great. Don't get me wrong. I just can't give it I could never give it a 10 anyway. But
What do you think the surprises will be next week and the season premiere of Monday Night Raw? They always do it, don't they? I think it was Austin a couple of years ago.
maybe a few call-ups. I think we'll get into that when we do the NXT. Maybe a couple of call-ups. A Jew, I think. Probably.
A Jew?
A Jew. Yeah, that's how you do it, Dave. When you try and do your AEW ending.
Yeah.
So maybe that.
Yeah, no. Okay, mate. Well, we'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast Monday Night Raw review. Keep an eye on all our socials because our NXT review will be dropping soon. We've AEW Dynamite review is already out. If you're listening to this or watching this, go and check out Adam doing our AEW Dynamite review.
A quick one.
We're trying to cram in as much content as we can this week. We'll be back with, like I say, NXT. We've got SmackDown review coming up on Saturday. I'm hitting some wrestling shows this weekend, covering some UK promotions on Saturday and Sunday. But as always, check us out on YouTube. Just type in the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Subscriptions are going through the roof on that now. At HTT Buckle on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Apple, on Google Pod, which ain't to be around much longer. So if you are listening on Google Pod, you need to transfer that. I think it's transferring over to something to do with YouTube. I got an email the other day saying Google Pod is going to be no more. But yeah, we'll be back later on in the week with our NXT review. Till next time, everybody, though, I've been your host, Andy Burrows. That has been the amazing Adam Cousins, and this has been our Monday Night Raw review. Till next time, buckle down. Stay safe, everyone.